friends, and welcome back to the Fab Fatties. I'm Allie.
I'm Rebecca.
Alyssa. And we're very excited to be back with you guys in our very own studio with all three of us back in action, back from our travels, back from the hospital, back from all the things. So let's get into it.
It's really nice to have you back because last time me and Rebecca were in here filming, we low-key were like, Allie, you good? Because Allie was about to go to the hospital, or you were in the hospital?
You were on the way to the hospital. We didn't know whether you were in a room, in the waiting room. We just knew you were there.
Yeah, on the episode we were like, yeah, Allie's not feeling well. And that's all we said.
Allie is unwell. Yeah, she's fine.
Was true.
Yeah, she's fine.
Is true. No.
Unwell. Yeah, she's fine. Just dealing with, normal shit I've been dealing with my whole life. Anyway, moving on. We are talking about fashion this week. But not like we normally have before. We're talking about fashion in the way that we love it, but it doesn't love us. So, Rebecca, start us off.
Yeah, so we were talking about what things we wanted to discuss, and some of it was based on things we've been seeing around on social media, but a lot of the discussion is just like how fashion and brands who say they're working for us fail us over and over and over again. And just ignore us as we keep going further into the depths of darkness. Our lighting is failing us, but that's okay. We're here.
We're going to keep going.
It's okay. It's fine.
Fashion doesn't love us and our lives don't love us. No, we'll make it. It's okay. But anyways, we love fashion, but fashion does not love us. And I was like, that is from something. What is that from? And tell as old as time, fat women have been talking about the fact that they love fashion and fashion doesn't love them for years. Ariel Woodson, who used to have a fat liberation podcast, she wrote about it, and I found the article and sent it to y'all, and I'm going to link it down in the show notes because I think it really goes to show how sometimes it feels like we've taken a lot of steps forward and yet there's still a lot of work to do. And how do we celebrate like those things that are going well and really applaud the brands who are doing the work? And then how do we talk about what's not working well when so often that gets reduced to us being whining or not accepting what we're already being given? So I really want to talk about our experiences with fashion today and then some of the topics that have been coming up because there was just New York Fashion Week. We have people online doing investigative reporting in different plus size retailers. And of course, we have our own experience of shopping and trying to find clothes that we like and trying to find clothes that feel like us. That has its own highs and lows.
I feel like we're gonna start with our queen today. We're gonna start with our queen. We have a new queen, I feel like all the time. But salute to Samyra. Salute to Samyra Cambrielle. She is out here doing the work for us.
Doing the work.
Doing the damn work. She is out here investigative reporting. Did you see she got an article in Rolling Stone? And fuck yes, Samyra. Way to go, babe. Absolutely way to go. And I love that the article, I literally just saw this before coming into this room with you guys.
Okay.
So this literally just happened that she posted it. But the article was about how she's tired of body positivity. She's like, I don't want to talk about it all the time. I am not just a fat body. I'm a singer. I played football. I love fashion. You might see me at the Olympics in 4 years doing shot put. I'm a dancer. I do all these fucking things. It's boring. Stop talking about my fucking body. But at the same time, Samyra is out here doing the damn work. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We are filming with our phones. And I have forgotten where to look. So if it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera, it's because I'm not.
Look opposite the red dot, girl.
Right? It's over there.
Upside, yep, you got it.
It's over there. I'm just going to keep looking at you guys and never look at the camera.
I also noticed if I turn my head completely to Rebecca, you see my bald spot.
I will say, next setup, we gotta change a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like,
the lucky one in the middle.
Can't see you. I feel like, remember when I hurt my neck from all those orgasms? I was like, hello.
DJing without a cause.
I was DJing without, I was a rebel without a DJ
my
cause.
Lord.
Anyway, so Samyra Cambrielle is out here doing the damn work. She is literally going store to store out in LA, being just boots on the ground for the fat community, right?
She's going shopping the way it's designed to be shopped, and it's just not a great experience that's been designed.
No, and so Samyra is getting, so what Samyra's doing, if you're not following Samyra on Instagram, on TikTok, Samyra is literally going, she's going to these stores. She has gone to Macy's, she's gone to H&M, she has gone to
Anthropology, I
Aerie,
think.
Anthropology, she has gone to Old Navy, she has gone to Forever 21. She's gone to many, many, many stores. I think she actually went to like 5 different Forever she went to several Forever 21 locations all on like the same day. But anyway, she also had like an article in The Cut about going to like 5 different LA malls at the same day, like, and still had a very bad experience trying to find clothing options.
I can only imagine in LA too.
Yeah, and it's just like, and the thing is that she's getting so much backlash because she's just trying to go into a store and find a piece of clothing that she both likes, dare I say loves, right? That she likes, that's in her size, and that she can take home with her that very day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not that she has to walk up to the counter and say, oh no, we don't carry that in the store, but you can order it online. We can ship it to your house, right? We just want to be able to walk in store and get it, right? And what Samyra is getting from this is, yes, she is getting so much appreciation from girls like us and from the community, who are like, thank you for doing this work. Thank you for speaking up. And there are brands who are paying attention to her
Yeah.
and who are saying, we want to be part of this conversation. And then there's a lot of people on the internet who are like, deal with it.
Yeah.
Be grateful for what you get. Just order online. Just settle. And Samyra is like, bitch, no. We've been fucking settling. We've been settling our whole goddamn lives. And I'm over it. And Samyra's over it. And I fucking love it. And I'm going to throw it over to you because I remember when we were making our notes for this episode, settling was kind of one of your.
Yeah, it wasn't even so yes, settling. But I never do this.
Yeah.
But I actually DM'd Samyra.
Hey, Fab Fatties fans, let's be real. Too often, we fat babes are left out in the cold when it comes to outerwear, but not anymore. Our sponsor, Snow Country Outerwear, is changing the game with functional, stylish pieces made for every body. With sizes 1X to 6X for women and up to 7XL for men, plus customizable fits in short, regular, and tall options, they're making sure we all stay warm and fabulous. Visit their website at snowcountryouterwear.com and get ready to slay no matter the weather.
I love that.
She posted, oh gosh, maybe it was like 2 days ago now. Much more when this comes out. But she posted a reaction video of 2 women. They seemed like they were on a podcast or doing some sort of reaction video to Samyra's video about the Old Navy fashion. Help me here.
It was for voting.
It was for voting, and it only went up to
XXL.
an XXL, so straight sizes only.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a reaction video to Samyra, which chef's kiss for that freaking video because it was so good. It was so good. And 2 women basically were just like, oh, she's really angry. Like, basically treated her like she was an angry black woman, which fucking enraged me.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the sentiment was lose weight. And I watched the video and I messaged her and I said, am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. But am I surprised? Yeah, because the things they said were I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
They were
Inherently fat phobic.
It's oh my gosh, like you said that out loud.
Yeah.
You said that out loud and you put it on the internet.
Well, she was also putting out some videos, Samyra, of this girl, this woman who I guess there was some sort of conversation back and forth, and this woman just doubled down on it and basically was like, look, I'm a fat girl too, but it's my fault. So I'm not asking these stores to make special accommodations for me. And Samyra's just like, that is your fault. That is your fault that you're not asking to be included, because we should all be included. And that's exactly it. That's exactly it. There's so many people that would just rather still hold on to those internalized beliefs of just not being worthy of taking up that space and not being worthy of saying, I deserve to get that Old Navy voting shirt in a 2X. I deserve to be able to go to Macy's and not
Yeah.
have to go up to the 7th floor with busted up, dusty ass elevators or escalators, right? Like walk past the food courts and the bedding section just to get to my clothes, which by the way, Macy's is now taking out of all of their department stores. Like, no, it's not our fault that they don't want to include us.
Well, I just think in general, the whole like shut up and pipe down like idea is such a dehumanizing one. And um, sorry, like the one thing we're each given is our voice, and we're allowed to use it however we want. And some people use it in ways that we don't love, and we have to just deal with it, right? So like, I just think if people in straight sizes had the experience of regularly going into a store and only having like 20 selections, and of those 20 selections, them not fitting well, that store would just go out of
Yeah.
business, you know. And they don't seem to understand that like the only reason these plus size lines continue is because we are in fact doing the work to take those shitty garments and make them work for us. So in terms of like what I see a lot of is like, well, then why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Why don't you create a line? Why don't you run a small business and select this? And why don't you do that? And I'm like, we're already doing a lot. We're already customizing the clothes we're fitting. We're already taking things that don't fit us well and doing what we can to make them work.
Wow, Rebecca, that's really
We're
such a
already doing shit, okay? And we're still giving money to people who aren't meeting our needs.
wow, Rebecca. Rebecca.
Sometimes I had a
Wow,
thought.
you just served.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't thought
Thanks.
of it, but you're so right. Like, how many pieces of clothing do we tailor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or how many times
Sleeves
have I
right now.
seen
I got
you?
them rolled
Have I
up.
seen you put on a piece of clothing and you're like, oh, let me just get a hair tie and I'll bunch up this side, or let me just, or I'll tuck in this side and I'll just make it work.
Yeah.
Right? And like you were saying, right? If straight size people had the same experiences we had with clothes every single goddamn day of their lives,
They complain too.
they would complain
Right.
too, right?
Right.
They would complain too. And that's the thing. It's like they can tell us all day long to just, pipe down, shut up, whatever. But I don't care, right? Because just like we talked about earlier, like I get wrapped up. I get wrapped up in being like, I'm going to prove to you why, we deserve to have these things. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I am here to tell you, the she's, gays, and theys, everybody who looks like me, who looks like you, who looks like you, who looks like my mom, my aunts, my sisters, whoever, you deserve the clothes. And it doesn't matter if someone who's a size 2 or a size 12 or whoever thinks that you're saying too much or doing too much, or you're too angry, or you're too loud, or you're too this or you're too that. You deserve clothes that fit you. You deserve clothes that make you feel good. You deserve the good things that the world has to offer. Yes, I need to take this advice on my own. But you deserve all of those things. And it doesn't matter if some shitty dude with a microphone says that you don't.
Listen, Allie alluded to this before, but I find myself in a really interesting pivotal point where new ideas and old ideas are coexisting in my brain. And not that I was ever one to go online and be like telling people that they're wrong. When I don't agree with someone online, I just keep scrolling. Like
Yeah.
What a concept.
I really don't engage. I don't understand arguing with people on the internet. I would like to sometimes have conversations and like engage in different ideas. My house around politics is always engaging in different ideas, and me and Billy arguing back and forth. And I just don't get it. I just will never get it. But I'm currently living in this realm of we do deserve better. And like, why are we treated like that just because our bodies are different? And then I'm also like so conditioned that I'm like, no, like we don't deserve the space. We don't deserve the clothes. And it's a learned thought, it's a learned behavior. Um it's only recently that I'm even starting to challenge it. But I think for a long time, like, yeah, I was the kid, like, if it fit and I kind of liked it, I was buying it. If you look at my clothes throughout middle school and high school, you're like, who is this girl? I could not express myself through clothing.
For sure. For sure.
It was not an option.
Yeah.
So I just learned that, like, it's not an option. I also was like convinced that, like, if you put on a piece of trendy clothing, that I would look like the body that was wearing it, and then just never liked the way I looked in anything.
And so therefore you felt like a failure when you put it on, because
Yes.
the only bodies that you saw in these pieces of clothing were bodies that didn't look like yours.
Yes.
Which is another thing that Samyra is championing. And I feel like we do that as well. And there's a lot of people like us that are on the internet and in real life, right, that are championing this of, we're not asking for too much by just saying we want to see ourselves too. We want to see ourselves. Samyra just did. I feel like I'm like super fangirling on Samyra.
I mean,
right
we are, but she's an activist.
She is.
She's a fat activist right now.
So she actually just got a paid partnership with Hilton, and she
I
did
saw!
such a badass paid reel with Hilton, where like she was living the luxury life in a Hilton hotel.
Hell yeah.
And
With a robe that fit in everything.
Robe that fit in everything. And how many times have I said, I want to see us in your marketing? And it's not just in clothing. I want to see us at your resorts. I want to see us at your hotels. I want to see us in your restaurants, because we have money to spend. Not me, but we have money to spend, right? We have money to spend. Fat people have money to spend. Fat people have jobs. Again, not me. But fat people are literally living, breathing, contributing members of society.
Mm-hmm.
So show us what we can look like in those clothes,
Yeah.
right? So that we don't feel like failures when we go into those dressing rooms and try on those clothes that we only saw on a certain body. And so it's never going to look that way on us. So show us what it looks like on someone else, and market it as, this is not, this is how it's supposed to look and this is the failure. No, this is just how it looks on different bodies.
Yeah.
Right? That's how that shit's always been marketed to us. And it's just, no, we want to buy it too. Just market it to us differently.
Hey everyone, did you know that the Fab Fatties are on Patreon? Yes, we are, and you can follow us for more behind the scenes chaos. We have bloopers, we have Allie raging, we have, me climbing out windows. I don't know, we just have a bunch of crazy stuff over there. Yeah, so you can find us on Patreon. That's P-A-T-R EON.com/the Fab Fatties. PATE.
No.
PATREON. That's what I said. .com/the Fab Fatties. And we will see you over there.
Well, I think it's interesting whenever, like, most companies want feedback from customers, because guess what? They need our money. You know what I mean? Like, they should be hopefully wanting to hear what we want, what's going to make us spend more money with them, what's going to make us have affinity with the brand. It is so mind-boggling that companies do things specifically to not have affinity with the brand. Now, this is where the fat phobia comes in, because what some will say is, oh, but if they have you, then you're glorifying obesity, right? Like, that's why they're not having any.
It's a washed up argument.
Yeah, visibly fat people. But I'm like, but if we're their customers, this is their business. We're their business. They should care enough to reflect that in their work. And there's some brands that do it. And let me tell you, those brands I have way more identification with and interest in supporting. And I get that there's certain businesses like an Old Navy that is so big and is in so many locations and has so many affordable basics that even if they continue to fail us over and over and over again, we will likely still shop them in mass. Listen, girl, you look real cute though in that dress.
Really cute.
It's an Old Navy dress. Listen, I love Old Navy. I love shopping them. I want Old Navy to love me back.
I'm so sorry, but if we're doing outfit shout outs,
Okay, girl, put your mic
for
down.
those of you not watching, I got a custom Lucky Puppy sweatshirt
Why are you making love to your mic right now?
because it's Lucky Baby. And if you really don't know this, because Lucky is in the studio with us and he's snoring
Yeah,
right
you might be
now.
hearing us snore. We have no idea.
Truly, this is the best part about having the studio here because now we get to have Lucky in here
Our
We
with
have
us.
our
mascot.
emotional support dog. Okay, wait, look at my sweatshirt.
Why does she sound like a pterodactyl when she gets excited?
It's iconic.
It is.
It's Lucky.
Oh my gosh.
Lucky baby.
Lucky Baby.
What's that song? I'm like,
I can't do that.
he's a star and he shines, shines, shines.
And
Holy heart. That's what I think of.
She's so
Lucky.
lucky.
That's me.
She's a star, but she cry, cry, cry in her lonely heart thinking.
We get copyright from that
Okay.
song immediately.
All right. Crossroads, what's up?
Yeah, it made me think about that because there's like a difference. There's a difference, and there's different kinds of like stores and fashion. Like there's a plus size only brands, and they, while making sizes more accessible, making styles more accessible, can just as much feel hurtful, and in fact sometimes more, because we're their only customer. Right? And then there's brands like an Old Navy, like an Abercrombie or something that has some plus. They're doing something. They want the cookies for doing something, right? And I think that's where the struggle is like you want the recognition for being more inclusive than some other brands. Yet, where is like the market research? Where is making sure the styles you're coming out with aren't ones we can easily buy elsewhere? That's what I find a lot. It's like, I'm like, you're giving us basics again? Like, I've got those down pat, y'all. I
Like,
want
when
some
you
new stuff.
see the same damn print at 5 different retailers. I'm sorry, but the brand that we talk about all the time, the one that sends us stuff all the time, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
I think so. Okay.
Okay.
A low level brand. I was like, don't
A
let me
low
get
level,
confused.
a low level brand, according to Rebecca.
I haven't gotten stuff from them in a while.
I swear to God, every single print that I see them that they put out, like I've seen it at 5 other brands, probably like 2 years ago, but I've seen like 5 other brands. They probably knocked it off from somebody, like an actual artist. But like it's all repeated, it's all old, it's tired. But then the brands that are doing like the trendy stuff are either they're not making it in our size, they are making it in our size and they're selling it for $500 a pop, or they are making it our size. They're not marketing it in our size, which I also have a problem with. I have a problem with, especially when they used to market it in our size and then they've severely dropped off marketing in our size. There was one brand that really kind of broke my heart because I was a big fan, and then they went from being a like solely plus size brand to being an all inclusive. So they expanded their size range to accommodate everybody, which is great, whatever. But in doing that, they used to have tons of like 4X, 5X models, and now I don't see them. I
Yeah.
don't see them on their website. I don't see them on their social media. And when they were asked about, that representation, like, oh, they're on our social media sometimes. And if you ever, if you buy it, tag us. So it's like, okay, so you're not paying the models anymore, and you'll take our money and use our content for free if we post it. Cool. No thanks.
Yeah, I think like I know it can sound like there's just like nothing good happening in fashion right now based on the conversation we're having, but I do feel like there's just really simple things brands could do to do better. So for example, if you have a brand that spans such a large size range, it means having more than one model per release. It means working with influencers of all sizes. And I would say if you're having like a feed and you're having to think about what's getting posted when. There should be size diversity always. Don't wait 2 months to put a plus size person out there. I don't care if it was 10 posts ago. If it's been 2 months since a plus size person has shown up on your feed, how the heck
It's too long.
am I supposed to know that this brand is for plus sizes? There should be constant representation, whether that's in media, working with influencers, whatever that thing may be. Like, I realize there's like different ways of funding that. But whenever you're only doing one release and you're choosing to only use a smaller bodied model, then yeah, my question is this brand for me? And yeah, I really struggle with those who want to make a lot of content about the fact they offer plus sizes. And hey, we do inclusive sizing, but then they don't show it themselves. And then they rely on their customer to show it for them. Um, Word of mouth is great. Word of mouth is how I learn about a lot of brands. But if you're not putting in the care for me as a customer, word of mouth is only going to go so far, because once I get there and I see that the money, attention, marketing is all being put on, quite frankly, thin, idolized beauty, I am going to note that. And I'm not going to see myself with your brand.
That's also, I think, a sticking point for me as well, is like, this isn't us just being like, take all of the straight size models off and only have fat models from here on out. No, like, if you are calling yourself an all-inclusive brand, I want to see thin models, fat models, trans models, old models, young models. I want to see models in wheelchairs. I want to see models with different abilities. I want to see people from all different kinds of bodies, and just, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of there just being this like idealized, like, it's just been shoved down our throats our whole lives. And it's like, people vary, like, as much as the fucking weather. Like, there's so many there. I don't even know what I'm trying to say at this point, but it's just like, it's there. I just feel like we've been seeing the same bodies and the same faces since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, the same kind of bodies, the same kind of faces. And I want to see the people that I see at the grocery store. I want to see the people that I see when I walk down the street. Like, I want to see regular, everyday people, right? Because everybody deserves to be celebrated. Everybody deserves to feel good in their clothes, right?
I wasn't going to talk about this, so I'm upset that I'm going to fumble through this because it's a really important lesson for people who've never seen these visuals before. So there's exclusion. So the visual for this is a circle with gray dots on the inside, and then on the outside of the circle, there are colorful dots. So the colorful dots are excluded from the circle with the gray dots. Then we have segregation. Segregation is another circle with all of the gray dots inside, and then a tinier circle attached to it with all of the colorful dots inside. So now this is, I think, when I compare segregation to a shopping experience, we just did Arula, and I think Arula's a representation of that because they had Altered State on one side and then they had Arula on the other. So I think that would be segregation. And then the next one is integration. So it's our big circle again with all of the gray dots. But inside of that circle, there is another circle where all of the colorful dots are inside. And now that's integration. So when I think of that, I think of like walking into a Forever 21 and there's a plus size section. So yes, I can go into the same store as everyone, but here's my, like, where I belong. And that all leads us to inclusion. And inclusion is what we should be aiming for. And that is one giant circle with gray dots and rainbow dots. And when I think of inclusion clothing wise, I think of Universal Standard when they serve all sizes. So companies that serve every single size, I think, is doing inclusion really well. And that's every single size and every single style. I think that's maybe important because when we talk about stores like Arula and Altered State, they have different clothing in each store and different sizes. So, yeah, this is my little ramble on inclusion, and what we are trying to work towards in the fashion space. I mean, in really all of our spaces, there should be a place that everyone belongs and is welcomed and truly belonging and not just integrated into the space. And I love this.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about everyone being in the space. It's about everyone actually being engaged in the space purposefully.
Yeah.
So I have started to personally move towards brands that are just doing it for everyone.
Hey Fab Fatties fam, get ready for an exciting event. Snow Country Outerwear is hosting a plus-size outerwear fashion show in Charlotte. Mark your calendars for November 8th at 6:30 p.m. at NoDa Art House. Enjoy food, drinks, selfie backdrops, and a chance to try on their amazing outerwear designed for women's sizes 1X through 6X and men's up to 7XL. Snow Country is all about perfecting plus-size fits with customizable options for everybody. Don't miss this chance to meet the team behind the brand. RSVP through the link in our description below.
I don't want to be doing the same thing that I'm getting angry at straight size people for doing.
Sure.
And also, they have 100 more options than I do.
Sure.
Right? But I'm trying to really lean into brands that are showing up and doing the work. I'm sick and tired of hearing more fabric, more money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick and tired of hearing that it's a factory issue. I'm sick and tired of it being a plus size, but really they just made a straight size bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sick and tired. We know better. They know better, and they choose not to do better. Do you want to know how you fix the problem of plus sizes costing more? You add up the total costs to get everything through a small, through a 6X, 7X, 8X, whatever X, and you tally it all together and you divide that cost up by
Well,
each
if you
piece.
think about it too, there's no difference in the cost between a size 0 and a size 10.
No.
But those are straight sizes.
Correct.
Right? But there is a difference between a size 0 and a size 24.
Yep.
More fabric. There's more fabric between a size 0 and a size 10.
Correct.
It's fatphobia.
I don't even care what the fuck it is.
I know.
There's a solution is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is there are solutions, and there are really smart people who have the solutions, and there are really smart people who can do better.
There are. And then there's also a multi-billion-dollar diet industry. You know? I think tying all that together back to what Rebecca was saying as well about like doing market research, doing testing, doing, fitting properly, right? We love Universal Standard. Universal Standard, great brand, because they actually do, the process that they go through when they're creating new garments, right? Their fit tests, their actual the fit models that they use, right? Like their process of fitting their clothing it shouldn't be revolutionary, but I feel like it is. And they go from a size 00 to a 40, right? And somehow their 00 and their 40 cost the same, right? But like it's doing the work, it's doing the market research, it's doing the testing. Like here's something that's breaking my brain. Dolce Vita. Dolce Vita just came out and did this huge campaign with all the plus size influencers. Like, we are finally doing wide calf boots that fit your wide calves. Everybody get excited, except for girls with actual like extra wide calves. Wah, wah. How is it that I am going on 36 years old this year and my calves have always been wide and I have never really had success except for a Torrid, right?
I've literally never had a success. I haven't shopped Torrid boots, so I need to this year.
But it's honestly like, what I don't understand. I see these companies year after year. They're like, we finally have wide calf boots to fit your calves. Yeah, but you keep making them the same damn circumference. Everybody stops at an 18-inch, 19-inch calf.
Well, that's what I'm so confused by.
Motherfuckers.
Let me just say, okay, I follow a lot of people of a lot of sizes. I follow a lot of people who are like a size 16, 18. Guess what? They're the ones at the very tip top of that wide calf. A 16, 18 is where we're revolutionarily having wide calf boots stop
And that's
out.
the extra wide calf.
Yes.
Is the 18, 19
Yes.
inches.
And when I looked, we just bragged on Universal Standard, still love them, but they're doing collaboration with Naturalizer for wide fit, wide calf boots. I looked at the circumference for their wide calf tall boots. Again, 18 some inches. I'm like, that a size 40 for Universal Standard could never fit in those boots. So to what extent, like why, if a size like 18 and a half is most likely someone a size 16, 18 at most, that's half of their size range unable to wear the boots. That's not a good collaboration for Universal Standard then. I'm glad they're doing it. Universal Standard, keep putting your voices out there and keep pushing at it. But that's where I, as a consumer, have to write back and say, I looked at the circumference of the boots and I am 3-4 inches off and I'm your size X. And so there's no way I can participate in this, right? And so like we have to say like, hey, glad you're interested in this. Glad you're getting Naturalizer interested in this. Guess what? It's not meeting the needs of the customer.
It's not. And you're so right. Like I feel like I've thought about it this way before, but I've also never thought about it this way before. Like, why is it? Like, why do you want to miss out on so much money? Like, there are so many of us that are just over that 18, 19, 20-inch calf. And trust me, people, that whoever it is that's telling Samyra that, we'll just be happy with the clothes that you get, or, if you don't like it, lose weight. When I was a size 12 and a size 28, I have never been able to fit into wide calf boots except for from tours, so it doesn't fucking matter. And I just don't understand, like, why are you cutting off an entire like population of people who want to give you their money, but you're just like, oh no, we have revolutionized boots at the same size as everyone else. Then what the fuck did you do that for?
Yeah, I have to admit, like, it's such a shame because 10 years ago, probably like 5 to 7 years ago, Simply Be used to ship to the US. Simply Be had the biggest circumference boots I've ever seen. And they're a UK brand. I would say in general, anytime I've ever had UK footwear, it's been wider and larger than US footwear. I don't know. Do the Brits have wider, flatter feet than us? I don't know. But their shoes are made a little bit bigger with their, because like I'm a size 7 there, because their whole sizing system is a little bit different.
Mush feet.
Listen,
Alyssa has a mush foot, everybody.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I say this to say, people have made extra wide calf boots that fit plus size consumers. The measurements, the construction of it are not a mystery. They exist. There are products out there that have it. And yet, when these new companies want to open themselves up to that customer field, when, where, how do they do the research to make such a miss at actually meeting the needs of that customer field? I mean, okay, good. You got some people in a size 12 to 16 in your boots. You're telling me people size 12 to 16 couldn't get some fucking boots? And I bet it is hard for them because I have a friend who's like a size 10, 12, and her calves are often too big for boots that are not any kind of wideness. But guess what then? That means you need extra, 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 extra wide calf boots if you're going to be selling and marketing it as a collaboration with a company that goes with size 40.
Yeah.
All right? I don't care how many extras you got to put on there. Make me some boots that fucking fit.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll buy a 5X boot. I just want the same boots as everybody else. Everybody's got those cute sparkly ass cowboy boots. I want them too.
She got so southern when she said that. I don't care.
I don't care. I want a cowboy boot just like everybody else.
Damn, Ricky Bobby.
Like we literally, I don't know if we should say this, but like we literally just did a collab with a footwear brand that we like. We love them. We're a big fan of the brand, and they're literally a wide width footwear brand. They tout themselves on being a wide width footwear brand, and they're wide calf boots.
At least on the size chart.
Yeah.
Per the size chart,
Would
will not fit any of our 3 calves, any of our 6 calves. We do. We have 6. We do have 6 legs over here.
On with all of that, what I also found surprising in preparing for this episode, maybe surprising is the wrong word.
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm
I'm not
surprised.
surprised.
I know. Well, sometimes you're like, did you really like publish that?
You're
you know what I'm
surprised they're
saying?
publicly saying it with their full
Sometimes
chest.
I'm like, bro, that's embarrassing. Sometimes I'm just like, that's really embarrassing for you. Like I'm embarrassed for you.
Yeah.
The statistics of Fashion Week and the plus size models were painfully low, lower than past years.
Oh yeah, they're getting worse every year.
Yeah.
We're I think, as much as like we've talked about Ozempic, etc., right? I do think in general what we saw over the last decade was a rise in action for body acceptance and body diversity, and now what we're seeing is people saying no, it's gone too extreme. People are stopping dieting. That's too extreme. That's them not working hard enough at it. That's them giving up. And we're seeing the push back against. We're seeing the swing forward. We're seeing the I'm fat, but I'm not one of you. I don't accept myself, and therefore I'm a good fat person, right? And that swing back is swift, hard. It feels very much hills in the sand. It feels very much like I'm a fat person that's going to be accepted by thin people who tell me that I should be thin, and I'm going to get kudos from them for preaching their message. And to you, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't talk to them again. Let me not talk to them.
Trust us, you guys. We have done the research, and by we, I do mean all 3 of us, mostly me. I will admit to this. We have done the research. We have scrolled through the troll accounts. and trust me, if you're a fat person watching this and you think that the answer to all your problems and the answer to not being like us and to being like them is to lose weight, go scroll one of those channels.
I got to see Taryn this week for the first time in 3 weeks with all the travel and everything. And being a performative fatty came up a lot in our session, to the point where I was surprised how much it came up. But she very much was like, it sounds like you're trying to perform. I was like, oh shit,
Damn, Taryn.
I guess I am. And I think this is where like the new and old thoughts really come together. But and I also think things can be true for a multitude of reasons.
Sure.
I think there can also be different aspects. It's not just black and white. It's not, this or that. There is a middle ground. But listen, intentional weight loss works for some people. It does. It does work for some people. And they can starve themselves to it if that's what they want. But for the majority of people, it does not work. And they end up gaining more weight than they originally had until they do it again the next time.
I do just want to put a slight caveat on that. Intentional weight loss will do some of the things that you want it to do. Sure. Intentional weight loss is not going to cure your internal thoughts about your body and about yourself, your body image. So yeah, intentional weight loss, sure, it can work. It's not going to fix it all.
And I do think it's so interesting looking at social media. And of course, I follow a lot of influencers and I follow a lot of people that own brands for plus size clothing. And it is interesting seeing the way we all talk about it. Because what I find is there's a lot of just complete exasperation with the shopping experience and brands disappointing the consumer left and right. And then on the people who've owned the businesses side, there's a bit of a like, can't you see we're trying? And why aren't you celebrating our wins? And just a want for positive reinforcement. And like, I struggle because I absolutely want to celebrate what things are going well and acknowledge those for companies. And I do think there's a gray area when a company wants you to celebrate what they're doing without acknowledging what they're not doing.
Sure.
And I think like for example, a lot of boutiques in the area, if they carry plus size, only go up to a 3X. And the boutique 3X is like a small 3X, like a 2022 most likely what we're looking at here. And And I get it that a lot of the wholesalers only carry up to a 3X. I've heard a lot of reasons for people not going beyond it. They can't get access to it through wholesalers. The stuff that's above a 3X is ugly and it's not something that they'd want to sell. And I think that those are decisions to be made. But at the end of the day, when a consumer says, you have not met my needs, or you have decided to have a business for fat people, but only these fat people, you got to hear it because it's just the truth. It's just the truth. And if it makes you feel like all your other work isn't seen, maybe for that customer it's not. And there's a reason because they are looking for a place to fit in, to literally fit in the clothes. They're looking for a place to be part of general society. And you're having a business that touts body positivity or body inclusivity, and it's not doing it. And while you might have a lot of defensiveness around that, it's just simply the truth. And I find that hard for a lot of businesses, especially small businesses. And I can only imagine how hard it is to have a small business. But the answer shouldn't be, well, then you start one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The answer should be, to what extent are you willing to work for those consumers? Because if you're not, then just say it.
Yeah.
If you're not, then just say it. But there's a lot of like wanting to be held up without acknowledging the part they're not doing.
Yeah.
I will say I haven't actually ordered from this brand because, quite frankly, my life is not fancy enough for this brand. But I really love the Jessa K
Yes.
stuff.
Their
Lot of cute
marketing is
dresses.
so good.
Yeah, they always when they release new dresses and stuff, they're always showing it on models of every single size they offer. And they often will show it from largest size to smallest if they're doing some kind of size range video.
Or even backwards.
Or yeah. And when they do group shots, you see the bodies intermixed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please. Like, I want to see someone thin wearing the outfit next to someone larger wearing that outfit, because then it's not, this is my main model, and if you shift over 3 pictures, you get the big one.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's, they're both wearing it. This is what it looks like on people of different body sizes.
Yeah.
And if I go to your homepage, like a universal standard, and I realize this brand has got a lot of money behind it right now, but like, when I go on their homepage and I look at their new releases, they have multiple models of different races, different ages, different body types. Even if that one item is only photographed on one person, which I'd love to see it on more than one person, okay? They still have a very diverse homepage of people wearing their clothes. I don't go on there and think, oh, this is only made for plus size people. I don't go on there and think, oh, this is only made for thin people. They're representing all the bodies. Excuse Allie.
I'm so sorry.
They're representing all the bodies on
Yeah,
there.
fantastic call out, Rebecca, because that is a company that I often look at and feel a very, very positive feeling towards.
And I will say the criticism I get for Universal Standard is they don't have enough like prints and stuff, which I will say they mostly deal with solids, and that their clothing is expensive, and that is true. And I think it's because of that shared cost part. But also they do have higher quality fits. It's how much work they put into it. Now I will say, if you want it on a deal, they have deals, y'all. They got $35 denim days. They have surprise boxes. Right, yeah, like there's ways to shop them at a deal. And there's ways to get it secondhand. There's Facebook groups where people do it secondhand. So like if you're interested in that brand but you don't have the money for it, there are ways. And like, girl, I got you in all the deals. All right, contact me. I can tell you how to shop them. Okay,
Slide in those DMs, ladies.
because I absolutely get, like, right now money is a big thing for me. Money's a big hurdle in getting clothes that fit for me. And there's just not much if you have low funds, low access. There's not much for you to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why, like, Torrid. That's why, like, there's certain brands that just have the same styles over and over again.
Yeah.
Torrid sold the same shirt for 10 years.
Harper.
Yeah, I know it's their
damn
basics,
Harper.
But like I've seen the same green jacket with utility pockets over and over again.
I have that one.
If I go to a Cato or something, it's the same clothes from when I was in high school there.
I'm so like, Torrid has never abandoned us, right? They've never abandoned us. Torrid has always been there for us. You know what I mean? Torrid has always been there for us. They've always been there for the fat girlies. And Torrid could do so much better. They could do so much better. They could do and it's not that I feel like they should get rid of their their classics, right? Like there is a market for everything, right? I mean, the internet's a weird place, but there's a market for everything. There are people who love that Harper top. There are people who love the cold shoulder tops. There are people who love Disney prints and the Slay Mama, whatever, like t-shirts, whatever kind of shit they're putting out all the time, right? Um, I do think that Tora does a good job of consistently putting out stuff.
Mhm.
What I don't think Tora does a good job of is diversifying their models.
Yeah.
I don't. I was disappointed this year, and I mean, no shade to her. Congratulations, absolutely, she was absolutely gorgeous. Their new model that they picked from their casting call. They did a nationwide casting call this year, and some of the finalists were. I mean, they did, some of the finalists I could see myself in, and it's not like I'm not trying to sound like selfish. Like it's not like, oh, I need to see my body exactly represented, but like I do want to see, not just the perfect hourglass and the chiseled chin and the socially acceptable
No belly
fat
roll.
girl. Yeah, like the flat belly, like no visible belly outline, like no
Arm hang.
no arm hang, like nothing. And so like this girl that they picked, again, she's absolutely beautiful. She's gonna make an amazing model, but she looks like maybe a 12, 14 hourglass, you know, thin face. And it just, I want Torrid to diversify their models so that their models look more like their customers.
I think something like Torrid. So here's my flowers for Torrid. Great underwear. Great bras.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do love a Torrid bra. Hello.
Their sizing is pretty consistent. If you order your size, you most likely know it's going to fit. They always come with the good swimsuit variety. But for a brand who kind of has the national forefront of younger plus size folks, and by younger, I'm going to say between 18 and 50, all right?
Yeah.
Meaning that, like, I think Lane Bryant in general seems an older store. Why? Like, why would they not be doing more and having more?
That's fair.
I get that, like, they're a mall store and malls are dying. I can only imagine, again, that it's, like, tough out there. But when it comes to them repeatedly doing the same thing year after year after year, either in design or with their model search, again, year after year after year, at what point can we expect change? At what point do we expect our voice to be heard? Lucky's awake. Like, at what point, though, truly? This is a brand that I've known about since I was 18. So almost 20 years.
Yeah.
How long is long enough?
That's fair. That is fair. 100%.
Something that was new for me hearing, and I know a lot of plus size girls say, like, I want to be able to see a girl wearing something and not know where it's from. Right? So I think that just goes to show how limited the trendy, unique pieces are. Is that I anytime I'm out with these two, I'm like, oh, I like that. And they're like, oh, that's from there. Oh, that's from here. Oh, that's from there. So I think that really speaks volumes. As we start to wrap up, are there any other names that we want to shout out? Like Samyra. We really just like cheered her on the whole episode. Was there anyone else doing the work online like that you want to shout out?
There's a brand I want to shout out.
Oh, please.
Chub Rub Clothing.
Okay.
Candace over at Chub Rub. I absolutely love her designs. She's making those badass t-shirts. Our t-shirts that we wore at Charlotte Shout.
Yeah, fat girls don't owe you shit.
Fat girls don't owe you shit. Candace over at Chub Rub. She's got Fat Babes Are Hot. She's got, oh my God, she's putting out a new one.
The Fire Flames? Yeah, I loved it.
Fat bitch. It's a crop top.
Yeah, it was
oh
really
my God, I
cute.
want it. She's got these beautiful dresses right now, these mesh dresses. I think she's sending me one. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, she's doing cool shit. She's doing cool shit. And she is for the fat babes. I love that.
I would say curvily Sarah Chihuahua. She covers things like New York Fashion Week. She's a New Yorker who's in the fashion scene, and she continuously pushes for brands diversifying their representation, their sizes, etc. And like, I really feel like she's an ear in the brands that wants to see them do well, but also is willing to kind of push and keep it on the forefront that size accessibility is a priority of hers. So curvily.
Awesome. Listen, I follow a lot of plus size folks. Samyra's doing it in a way that
Works.
she's doing it in a way that I find entertaining. She's doing it in a way that I find fun. I find healing. I'm a Samyra fangirl.
She's doing it in a way that's getting people to pay attention, and she's doing it in a way that's getting the right people to pay attention, and the wrong people, but the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as people want to tell her to shut up, I hope she doesn't, because the brands are paying attention and she's putting them on notice.
Yeah.
And
She
again,
is.
this is anything she's saying is nothing they have not heard before. So please don't, all these poor brands, they've heard it and they've chosen not to act on it. And she happens to be saying it in a way that is getting noticed. And
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm going to be loud about next year. I'm going to be loud about fat models in Fashion Week, because those statistics were pitiful. So,
Yeah. It's
pitiful.
been like that.
Scary bad.
But you know who did have fat models at New York Fashion Week? Renee Cafaro of Renee Cafaro Atelier.
Girl, you looking at me and I'm the last person in this room.
RCA Public Label. Rebecca did just wear that dress for her friend's bachelorette party. I also wore that dress for Charlotte Shout. So shout out to Renee Cafaro as well. She is doing both, I guess, like, everyday wear and high fashion as well. So yeah, huge Samyra fan.
yeah.
I think, like you said, I love the way she's doing it. She's doing it in an entertaining way, but she's doing it in a way that she's getting people to listen. And the brands are listening. And I think also shout out to Samyra's community, because they are a force. They are so behind her.
I know.
And so, like, they will come for someone who is coming after Samyra. And I love that,
I
because
told you I DM'd her and I don't usually do.
listen, some of Samyra's trolls are our trolls, so at least we're in good company.
Yeah, well.
So, we say we love fashion. It doesn't always love us. But there are ways to love us more gently and softly, fashion. So if you could please get it together, we're ready for you.
Last question to wrap up. What is your favorite piece of clothing that you've gotten lately?
The best piece of clothing that I've gotten lately, the first thing that's coming to my mind is we literally just went to Arula, and I love that little puffer vest I got. I slay in that puffer vest. So I really like the puffer vest. What about, I don't know. Oh, we worked with Amore.
It finally charged up.
We worked with Amore 781.
Yeah.
781. And they sent me this gorgeous pleather skirt. So that's one of my favorite pieces I got recently.
We love. What about you?
I'm not sure I have like a favorite piece. Okay, so me and Alyssa went to this consignment sale that was having, and they included plus size in the consignment sale. Yeah. And I got this plaid dress. I haven't worn it yet. It's like a little shirt dress type thing, but it's like soft. You said you wanted to steal it from me, so I know you like it. But I think that's gonna be really cute for fall, and I am excited about
with the
that.
Bryant boots.
Yeah. And then, yes, we went to Arula. I am opening myself up to mini skirts. Okay, that's we have fashion rules we place on ourselves too. And me and Allie found a mini skirt with a shirt stitch that we both liked, and we both got it. I had to order mine online because I didn't have my size in store, so that just arrived actually today, and
Fun.
I am excited for wearing it out. I probably will wear it out with tights because I'm gonna be honest. That's gonna be my little security blanket. But I'll do sheer-ish tights, okay? Like just a little baby toe at a time.
Are you gonna wear that skirt to the Orchard on Sunday?
No, I feel like I'd mess it up at Orchard. I feel like I need more ability to man spread.
To man spread.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, same. I also got an outfit I love from Arula. I got this little, I got a matching outfit with Rebecca. We both got this plaid mini skirt and a little.
You had to ask the one more question.
My phone just died.
Yeah.
Hey, so my phone died, so just switching angles here real quick. We're really nailing the new tech in the studio, you guys. The new tech in the new studio. I'm doing really amazing over here. My phone died. It's fine. I got a new outfit from Arula. I got a baby doll shirt that says literally just a girl, but that's not it. The outfit is this really cute little black mini skirt and this little like chenille sweater that goes with it. It's very cute, and I'm going to be wearing it all the time with little sneaks and little boots, and we're fat.
And we're fab.
I don't want to call you my friends right now. And we're friends. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Wait.